January 26th. Haven't been out here in a couple of days. We've had quite a bit of ice, and so it's just been kind of slick and not much I can do out here at the moment anyway, so why bother? But as I was walking through, I was kind of thinking, whenever you've got new property new to you and trying to figure out, let's say, the water flow, I mean, it should be pretty obvious. It's going to come down the hill and go across, but if you really want to understand the water flow, one of the best things you can do is actually be there while it's raining and see where it's coming from, where it's going, and all that. Second best is come out after it's been raining, and you can kind of see just where it's, common sense. You can see the water flow. But I try to take note of that whenever I come out, see where it's flowing, where it's eroding, where it's coming from. If there are places you might be able to redirect it or slow it down or stop it and let it soak in, things of that nature. But like I said, it's been a couple of days. Thought I'd just kind of come out, check a few things, make sure nothing's been messed with, make sure they haven't, well, I mean, I can check and see if limbs have fallen on anything, but not a whole lot I can do about it now other than clean it up. But it's not supposed to have any more rain for at least a week or more. It's supposed to be getting out of freezing. I think it's about 35 right now. So it'll take it about a week or so before it can dry up much again. Just double checking, doesn't look like anything's been messed with. Got the frame all ready, got the head pretty much ready. I basically just need it to dry up enough that I can get the trailer down here, use the backhoe probably to pick it up, set it on those rails. I might need a second set of hands to help guide it onto that, and probably need to do a little bit more securing. I only got a couple of little L brackets there holding those in place, so I was twisting the bolts off. Those railroad ties are so hard, of just taking a lag bolt with a impact driver, just twisting them right off. So I either need a much stronger lag bolts, or I need to pre-drill them, or find some other way to secure those. I want to secure the top ones to the bottom ones and stuff so they don't shake around, and then secure the rails down to that so that when I'm loading a log, I don't just knock the whole thing off and end up having to start all over and lining it up and leveling it. But I'm going to stop for a second here. I got something to do in this area, and then I'll keep going. Okay, got that taken care of. Basically some basic security issues. I'm starting to see a little bit of evidence of some budding. So it is what it is. The seasonal creek has got water in it, and that's one of my goals, is to, this is on the lower side of the property, one of my goals is to see what I can do on the upper side to try to keep water in this creek longer, for several reasons, but one big reason being, if there's water, they're more liable to be game. So if I can slow the water down uphill, then maybe I can, it may not be this full by any stretch. I don't have that much influence upstream or uphill, but maybe I can keep some water in this longer through the season. Yeah, seeing a little bit of evidence of things wanting to start budding out. There's a fruit tree that'll be probably one of the first, definitely the first tree, but one of the first things to really flower. And there's about 5 or 6 of them around. I know what to look for this year, and I'm going to try to mark them. And not only just maybe tie a ribbon around them or something, some way mark them that way, but also maybe make me a map. And try to keep an eye on them. I'm still not sure exactly what kind of berry it is. They are edible, I know, because I ate them. Not a lot of them, just a couple of them. They're kind of a cherry, something between a cherry and a grape. Almost remind me of a muscadine, but it's coming from a tree instead of a vine. So I need to find out what it is, map them out, and then either try to propagate them a little bit, or if I can find out what they are, then I'll be able to figure out what rootstock I could use. A little bit of wind coming through and all the ice cracking on the limbs. So I might be able to graft them onto something, or maybe try my hand at air layering to propagate some out. I mean, they're probably not going to be anything that, you know, you're going to get bushels and bushels of, but at that time of year when hardly anything else is coming off, something's better than nothing. And the more of them I have, then the more I'll have to harvest. And maybe put them someplace where they're easier to harvest. I'm just wandering through. I haven't been back on this part in a while. There's some fresh limbs down that came down in the storm. I probably should have a hard hat on. There's an interesting tree. So this looks like it came from the top of that one on the right. Looks fresh up there. I mean, worst case scenario, if that tree ever came down, there's a good 15 foot, 12 to 15 foot that's straight that could be milled. I mean, look at the bark on that one. It gets all shaggy up top. But I mean, there's 30 feet straight. It's got a little bit of a bend in it. I mean, there's a few. There's another one of the shaggy ones back there, right there. Most of the trees in here are pretty young. This was pasture apparently about 30 to 50 years ago, maybe 50 years ago. So a lot of these are younger than that. But there's a few older ones, middle-aged trees. You know, that one, there's no telling without cutting into it, wouldn't know how old that is, but it could be 50, 70 years old at least. Got a lot of straight trunk on that one. There's a pretty good size one. Not that I want to cut it down unless it's dead. I mean, if it dies, then it'll come down. It's kind of weird. Now that I've got a sawmill, I haven't even finished putting it together. But now that I've got a sawmill, I walk out through here and I look at trees either for food, for habitat, And now for building material, which trees, if they were to come down, would make good lumber. And I got a whole lot to learn. And there's a nice tall one. There's several out here that are decent size with some decent straightness on them. I don't know that I'm going to necessarily do a whole lot through here. I might make a couple of paths, but I don't know that I want to clear very much of this. Even all this small stuff here, I mean, part of me would like to clear some of that out to make it easier to get around, but I also need to keep some of it wild. Keep it as natural as possible. And I've got 6.5 acres, which isn't a huge amount, but there's no reason for me to immediately try to clear 6.5 acres. 3.5 of it is more than enough to keep me busy for a while, and then I still have stuff like this to enjoy without having to get on somebody else's property. If I clear this, look, see that? To me, that looks like a potential trail. I bet if I put another camera out here, which I might at some point, might see something. That just kind of looks like a trail to me. But yeah, there's several pretty good sized trees out here. At least you can walk around this time of year. I see footprints. Right there, looks like a footprint. It's not mine. Maybe I do need to put more cameras out here. For 2- and 4-legged guests. There's definitely some footprints here, but I can't tell if it's a shoe or if it's an animal. I mean, I'm not heavy, and that's what my footprints look like. So it doesn't necessarily look like that. But it goes, this trail, I mean, you can kind of see up there and around. And I'm just now getting to the edge of my property. Tree that got broke over. I mean, I could probably come clean some of that up at some point. The trail seems to go under that tree, but it may just be bent over because of the ice. Yeah, I don't think that's a human footprint. That's something else. I'm basically off of my property here a little bit. I'm back here. There's my stake. There's my, okay, I'm right about the property line here. So all that's what I just walked through. So that's all on my property. I'm just going to wander around a little bit before I go to some more errands.